The example that I give to my patients when I kind of explain how lungs work is a sponge. So a sponge should be at least kind of nice and pliant. It's elastic. When you push down on it, it easily collapses, and when you let go, it easily springs back. And that's kind of how lungs should work. If there is a lot of scarring, the lungs can become more like a less pliant structure that is harder to shrink down and maybe does not bounce back as well. So if you think about the lung in the chest wall, if you have to spend more energy to expel the air and shrink the volume of the lung, and also to expand the lung volume, then the oxygen extraction of the lungs is going to become less efficient. What else kind of influences your lungs? Going back to the sponge analogy, you want your lungs to be able to shrink easily when your rib cage wants it to shrink, and you want it to be pliant and expand easily when it applies the diaphragm applies a negative pressure. But if you were to have a weight on the sponge, of course, it's not going to be able to do that as well. So I do, get on my patients about, everyone can stand to lose 5 to 10 pounds, but the more weight you have on your lungs, the harder it is for them to get volumes. So that's something that kind of is partly within your control. The other thing that I kind of nag patients about is watching for restriction. Many patients tell me that when they bend over, their shortness of breath worsens when they have interstitial lung disease. And that's probably because you're restricting your thoracic cage. So if you were to stuff these sponges into a small cage, of course, the volumes are going to be smaller. So posture does play a role in your lung volumes. So if somebody has some kyphosis, which is not always fully under your control, but that's when the spine is curving forward. I kind of getting on them to do yoga and stretching to fix that component of it. And then scoliosis, in which the spine is not bending forward, but in kind of an S pattern, that can influence lung volumes as well. So things that you can do to improve this, I think are welcomed from your lungs perspective.